What you just saw then is stock doves on display flight. And some birds actually have a display flight rather than a song. You've got two of them wheeling around chasing each other here. So they do some sort of extravagant display, or not so extravagant, as in a stock dove just holds up his wings like that and glides around a bit, where a wood pigeon would do a clapping with his wings and go up and then dive down again. But he'll also have a song, but throws in a display. Often when you reach other countries, other birds have much grander displays where they fluff up their feathers. But most of our species do have some sort of display, just not always very apparent. Here's a wood pigeon going around. He's probably going to go up into a big arc, or not, because he knows we're watching him. But in the background here you can also hear a pick. And that's a woodpecker, that's a great spotted woodpecker. Again, they're an early breeder, so they do all their drumming, which is like their song, in January, February time. And now they'll be just about ready to hatch all their young. So sort of like late summer, well, late summer for me, June, July, you suddenly get a surge in number. So you can hear here the great tit, much faster song this one than the earlier ones. Going teacher, 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 teacher. Tends to be quite a loud song as well. Behind here as well we've got the chattering of magpies. That sort of like high pitch, sort of like eek. And that's probably a group of them, probably a family little group as well. And they kind of sing, it takes two taffy, takes two taffy. And that's just trying to throw words in with a song to help you memorise them a bit. So their actual song is more like it's probably really bad impersonation, but you'll have to do with it. And of course they stopped singing because obviously they heard my impersonation and don't like it at all. But in that background here is a lovely trill of a wren. Now he's probably about 5 or 6 metres into the undergrowth here. He's probably facing away, and he's Britain's second smallest bird at just under 4 inches, and he has probably the loudest song that you can imagine. So it's quite a loud explosive sound. He starts off and goes, it's like blasting it out. It really wants everyone in the surrounding area to hear it. But as you see, as we go through the morning, different birds sing at different periods. So your very early risers are going to be your robins and your blackbirds and your song thrushes, and then your tit species like your great tit and blue tit sing a little bit later, and so do your warblers, and then we get a few other late risers singing. And there's another woodpecker picking again. Now the only trouble with something like a wren is everyone tends to focus on that and can't hear all the other noises that are going around. But there's about 5 or 6 different birds all singing all at once. So we've got a blue tit up here, there's a chiff-chaff over there, there's a wood pigeon that way, you've got a wren here, there's a robin over there. And I did hear a distant blackbird. And there is a song thrush way in the distance over that way. But they're all proclaiming their territory. And probably about normal time for most people, about 6 or 7 o'clock, they all die down. And then you get kind of like a second burst of song, often sort of like a few hours later. So what we just heard then was a green woodpecker. which is green, which is handy. But he has a very strange call and song. It's like a yaffle. So in the West Country they used to call it the yaffle. And he sort of like laughs at you, he goes, ah, 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 ah. It's a very bad impersonation, but that is roughly what they sound like. Unfortunately, it sounds like it's going to be quiet again. They don't sing like continuously as they will earlier on in the season. This time of year they're going to make their calls much less frequent. But here you got, that was a strange call of a great tit just going. There we go, another sort of song of a great tit. Here we go, it's quite a loud song. And that little warbling down here that started and finished very abruptly was a blackcap. Just then that quite scratchy. There's also a robin singing there as well. That's your blackcap starting again. And there's your robin. They sound fairly similar, so it takes a bit of training to separate the two. But the blackcap is much more scratchy.